You don't need motivation, you need structure. For years, I thought motivation was the answer. I'd wake up, blast motivational videos, and hope that would get me through the day. But motivation fades, purpose doesn't. And in this video, I'm going to show you why you don't need motivation and what you actually need instead. Let's dive in. I used to think the only way to win was to stay hyped, stay motivated, and keep grinding. But here's what nobody tells you. Motivation is an emotional spike. It gets you started, but it never gets you to the finishing line. What really drives you isn't hype, it's clarity. When you know your why, you'll show up even when you don't feel like it. Entrepreneurs who win don't rely on bursts of energy, they build endurance. It's not about how excited you are, it's about how long you can endure the pain to get to where you need to be. This video is going to give you clarity, perspective, and a mental reset. Because most people lose not because they're lazy, but because they keep putting themselves in losing situations. If you're an entrepreneur, creator, or coach building something from scratch, and you're tired of relying on motivation to stay consistent, this one's for you. Let me tell you about when I relied on motivation and burnt out. When I was 18, I worked in door-to-door sales. Every morning, I'd blast motivational videos to hype myself up. And it worked until it didn't. The moment I stopped listening, I'd crash. I was chasing emotion instead of purpose. What kept me going wasn't motivation, it was remembering why I was doing it. To move out my mom's house, build something real, and create freedom for myself and my family. In sales, I learned that showing up hungry mattered more than feeling inspired. Some days I'd knock 100 doors and get 0 results, but I still went again the next day. The people who only worked when they felt good were gone within months. I stayed, built a team, and made more money than I've ever made before. Not because I was motivated, but because I was consistent. That's when I realized consistency matters more than motivation. The ones who make it in sports, business, life, aren't the most talented or motivated. They're the ones who do what needs to be done every single day, no matter what. When friends are going out, I was learning, building, and improving. The sacrifice isn't forever, but the regret can be. So how did my results change after replacing motivation with structure? Everything changed. I stopped focusing on how I felt and focused on what needed to get done. I created structure, routines, and deep work blocks. Instead of chasing motivation, I built habits that didn't care about how I felt. That's when consistency, momentum, and results started to compound. Let me walk you through the specific system that replaced motivation in my life. Every night, I plan my next day. I list priorities, the tasks that move the needle, and delegate the rest. My client success manager, Aaron, takes over from there, and I go into execution mode. I block 6 hours of deep work, and I leave space to think and walk. That's when I get my best ideas. Here's what the system looks like, step by step. Night before, review wins, note what still needs doing. In the morning, tackle the hardest task first, always. Midday, check in with the team, adjust priorities, and then in the afternoon, deep work or sales calls. In the evening, that's when I get to reflect, see what's worked, see what didn't, and then move on to the next. The tools that support this: Notion for tracking KPIs, CRM data, roadmaps, and client scorecards. Todoist for structuring daily priorities and ensuring execution. Automations, Slack updates, Discord updates, daily task syncs, GHL dashboards, all to reduce decision fatigue. If you're watching this and thinking, how do I start building my own version? Start small, plan your next day the night before, write down the 3 most important tasks that will move your business forward, and commit to finish them before checking anything else. Track progress weekly, not daily. Consistency compounds. The most common mistakes people make when trying to stay consistent: they try to do everything all at once. They don't build momentum, they chase perfection. Start with one change, one routine, one system, make it stick, then stack more. Let me give you an example. One of our clients, Amari, when we started, he was motivated, hungry, full of ideas, but motivation alone doesn't scale a business. Once we built his systems, structured his offer, and gave him a rhythm to follow, he hit $43,000 in 33 days. But next month, $35,000, not because he felt motivated, but because he became disciplined. That's the difference. Motivated people dream about winning. Structured people execute and win. Let's break down what most people believe about motivation and why it's wrong. Most people believe motivation gets you to the finish line. It doesn't. It only gets you to the start line. Discipline, consistency, and showing up through pain are what carry you across the finishing line. And here's the hard truth about why people keep failing when they rely on motivation. Their goals aren't big enough and they don't speak them into existence. People stay quiet out of fear of failing, fear of looking stupid, so they never build the accountability that forces growth. They stay comfortable, and comfort kills dreams. The mindset shift that made this click for me: when I played for Wolverhampton Wanderers Academy, I had the talent, but not the discipline. I thought motivation was enough, and it wasn't. Getting released taught me the hardest lesson early. Motivation is a feeling, discipline is a lifestyle. When I transitioned into sales at 17, I couldn't afford to rely on feelings anymore. I had to rely on consistency. That's when it clicked. And here's the biggest lie the internet tells about motivation or discipline: that being motivated or disciplined guarantees success. It doesn't. You can be motivated and disciplined and still lose if you don't execute with purpose. The only guarantee in life is this: if you show up every day, refuse to quit, and adapt until it works, you can't lose. Let me describe a time I woke up completely unmotivated but still followed my system. There are Mondays where I wake up and I'm not feeling it, no energy, no spark, but those are the days I perform best because the system takes over. My calendar's packed with team calls, one-on-one calls, and sales calls. No space to think, only execute. By the end of the day, I've closed deals, collected cash, and led my team through powerful calls. Motivation wasn't there, discipline was. What would a motivated version of me look like versus a structured version? Motivated Dwayne scrolls, plans, and thinks about what to do. Structured Dwayne wakes up, acts, executes, and wins. If I had to use a metaphor to explain this concept, motivation is caffeine, systems are sleep. One gives you a boost, the other gives you power. How can you avoid falling back into the motivation trap? Know your why. Create an environment that makes success the default. Right people, right tools, and the right structure. If you know your purpose and design your environment for it, you'll never rely on motivation again. The emotion I want you to feel as you realize you don't need motivation anymore: awakening. A sense of control, like you've just switched from chaos to clarity. You realize the power's been in your hands the whole time. Here's what I want you to do after watching this. DM me the word structure. I'll send you my free resource that helps you audit your business and build a routine that works even on your worst days. It's called the Daily Structure Sheet. It's the tool I use weekly to track how I spend my time and identify what actually moves the needle. After you get that, I want you to think about this. I don't need motivation anymore. I need structure. And here's the mic drop moment. Motivation fades, systems don't. Build the system and the system will build you. Now, if you want to see the exact system I built that changed everything, watch this video next. It's the full breakdown of the 3 systems that took me from chaos to clarity. Click that video, DM me structure, and let's build, and I'll see you in the next one.